Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. So for everyone who's watching, Anne is the CEO of Illiman Skincare.
Yeah,
Anne attended the Profit Masterclass, I believe in April or May. I think the one I did in the spring.
it was
And
April.
and she was completely brand new, just came in with an idea, a concept, a prototype. And today she's going to be talking about her experience, but also she's going to support the people on the call who have questions and they're wondering, will this work for them? Should I be joining Maureen right now when I have an idea? So Anne, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us about your business, what inspired you to start your skincare line, and then also give people an idea of where you were before and what you were doing before you met the Profit Masterclass.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm glad that you guys took your first step to, I believe, success. I was there some time back, about 4 months ago. And yeah, I'm here today with a company. My name is Anne. I am the founder and CEO of Illiman Skin. It's Illiman Skin. It's a skincare line catered to people with dry and dull skin, and it also targets like dark spots for acne and stuff like that. So it's pretty amazing. I have 4 products and one skincare tool set. It's a journey that I took after joining the master class in May. I remember it was May the 7th. I will never forget it because those were the 5 most beautiful days I've spent in my entire. It was the best gift I gave to myself. And then when I hopped onto the call with Maureen, I was able to get everything crystal clear. At one point, I was where you guys were, and I was like doubting, should I join this program? And I know, like my fear at that time came from, will I have enough time, because I was just getting off maternity leave, going back to work. And then my other issue was the finances. I was like, how am I going to do it? But I was very faithful because of everything that was presented during the 5 masterclass. I was like, I need this kind of person by me because I know I can do it. But I just needed that push. I needed somebody to give me that guidance. And that's when I hopped on the call with Maureen, and I immediately signed up for the course. And although it was supposed to be a 3-month thing, I'm here today still, 5 months in, and I'm going to do the whole year. Inshallah, with God's grace, I will do it for the full year. And yeah, it was really. I was sitting at a place where I was doubting, like I said, about the financial aspect. There was a part of the lecture Maureen was talking about the different type of entrepreneurs, and I recognized that I was one of those who was in my head wanting everything to be perfect before I could move on. And honestly, although I've been toying with the idea for like a year, I never really got to do anything until when I went to this master class, and I was like, you know what, this is the time for me to move forward. And once I enrolled in the program, 4 months in, guys, I have my skincare line. I can even show you. This is one of the products. It looks so professional. All my friends asked me, how did you do it? And how much time did you spend on it? It was a lot of work, yes. But eventually, yeah. So if anybody is sitting on the fence, I would say, don't even second guess yourself. Just go ahead and sign up.
And the reason I brought you here today is because you had so many objections, and I want us to sort of walk through your thinking pattern and what made you move forward. Because being a new entrepreneur, you've probably never invested in yourself. And I'm coming in, I'm telling you guys, we have this 5-figure investment to get your business from the ground up. And one of the things you really expressed was that you don't see the point of doing a 12-month commitment. Looking back, is 12-month necessary? If so, why?
Absolutely. It's necessary because, like I said, the guidance that I'm getting from you, being a professional in the field, you've done this, you've been there, you know everything. I wasn't even an entrepreneur until 4 months ago. So I definitely think to enroll in the 12 months. I initially with 3 months, like I mentioned earlier on, but here I am today because launch your products, what next? And for me, I'm more interested in that. I want to know the analytics behind the business. I want to understand, you know, the sales and marketing strategies to use. If this strategy doesn't work, which one works? And that's why we have Maureen to do that for us. And honestly, if you look into yourself, like I said, I came from Kenya to Canada to study, and I have invested so much money in a university degree that I would say I am not even using. So all that money I've invested, thousands and thousands of dollars, $1,000 in comparison to that. And that's quality going into this whole 12 months program with Maureen, because it's the best investment I can say I've ever given to myself.
The other thing you also had, you are a new mom, like time was an issue. You're like, hey, Maureen, how much time is it going to take for me to apply this? Can you speak to that? Can you share the structure? Can you share how you managed your time? Before now we're talking about the results and what we did to grow your brand.
Yes, absolutely. Is always a factor, especially for mothers and people on the go, because I know people usually still have their 9 to 5, and then you just do something on the side until maybe it takes off, and which all applies to me. Yes. I honestly always like saying that if you really want to do something, you'll find the time for it, no matter how much little time in the day, you will find time to do. So basically what I do is wake up in the morning, get my son ready, drop him off to daycare, come back home and get into the office and start my day. I'm done at 4 p.m. I go back, pick my son, bring him home, just get him to unwind a bit, and then you know, just try to prep something real quick for dinner. By 7, he's asleep, and that is the time I use for the business. And that's how I've been doing it. So yes, it's gonna take a lot of your time, but every bit of it. It's just structuring yourself, knowing what works. And that's for me, because I'm working in the morning. I know other people might be working at night. It's just vice versa, you know? So you will find something that works for you. And honestly, where there's a will, there's a way. And that one, I've even surprised myself.
That's so true. And then the other objection was, from a mindset standpoint, was everybody else is starting a skincare line. Who am I to start this? Exactly. So can you speak to how we supported you from a mindset standpoint in the program, what we did with the mindset calls, and because you quickly snapped, in 4 weeks, you became a totally different person. Talk about that.
No, I honestly, if you let people get into your head telling you, oh, who do you think you are? Do you think you can do this? You don't even have the educational background to maybe like start in the industry that I'm in. And I'm smart enough because I went to school, I have this education. So just like the program I took in school, I can do my research and be very knowledgeable about the things that I'm speaking to and having that confidence. So definitely, I agree that mindset is a big portion of the course. And it not only applies to the business aspect of it, even in my own like personal life. I was a very like people pleaser kind of person. But now after talking to Kara, I'm at a point where I'm okay telling people, no, I can't do it. And tough luck if you catch feelings, but that's the truth. I'm not going to bend backwards for everybody. And at the end of the day, everybody just wants to use somebody somehow. And if you're willing to give yourself and not care about yourself, then obviously you're going to lose out. And the mindset has really helped me in both aspects, and even career-wise. You know, like now I'm telling my manager, hey, this much I can do, this much I can't, or I'm gonna need more time to do this. You know, it has really changed it's like a 360-degree turn, like, you know, from somebody who was like, yes, everything I'm told, okay, yes, I'll do it, even if I know I'm taking on a lot, you know. But now I'm able to say, hey, I can do this much I can't, find somebody else to do that in my personal life, and so on and so forth. So yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now let's talk about the principles that I teach in the business building, and walk people through how we did it for you, because you came in with an idea and a prototype. you were talking to a manufacturer, you actually had an audit. Talk about the brand work. You know, we have something we call the brand Bible. Speak about that. What was the benefit of doing that work? Because I know in the masterclass day 2, I really talked about branding. Talk about that.
Yes, branding is something that I honestly just knew a tiny bit about until I took this course. The way I had it in mind was find the manufacturer. You already know the products you want in the market, and then just get somebody to design for you your logo and slap it, and on you go. That's what I came into this program honestly with. Maybe some people are like me, maybe others are more advanced, or maybe others don't know anything at all, but that's what I came into the program with. But right now, every time people go to my social media handles and they look at my work, they are like, oh my God, this is so professional. It looks like those big brands, you know, because the brand is so clear, the message is so clear, my target audience is very clear. I know who I'm speaking to. So, and then, you know, with how everything just looks so clean, sophisticated, it's very clear because I knew from the onset, this is what I wanted, but I didn't know how to translate it until I took the modules with Profit Lab. So the 5 modules you're talking about, we have the branding aspect of it, we have the marketing aspect of it, sales and
pricing, and then data.
Exactly, and data. This branding is something that is very important because it really talks to your audience, who you are and what you stand for. So no shortcuts. I will always advise people, even my friends, when they tell me, I'm like, hey, listen, her name is Maureen Mwangi. Just shoot an email, say Anne sent you. I maybe some did, maybe they did not yet, but I know people are sitting on the fence, but I would always say go for it, because once you have your branding, anywhere you go, everybody can, you know, relate it to you. So
talk about pricing. Many of my students, their average order value tends to be around 160, 190. Talk about that.
All right. So I find that when we sat with Maureen, oh boy, is she cutthroat. So she told me, and these products are going to go for, you know, $60, $80. My serum is $82. My mask is $69. And I'm like, Maureen, who is going to buy these things? Who's going to buy them? There are so many products in the market doing the same thing that I'm claiming. Why would they purchase it? And honestly, I will say, I will never doubt what you tell me, because like I said, I knew you're the expert, and a little bit got into my head and I was like, oh my God, people are not gonna buy. And true, when I launched my company, a few friends and family were like, oh, these things are a little bit on the pricier side. Who do you think is gonna buy them? And guess what? I've sold over 40 products so far. And I just launched 3 weeks ago.
Damn.
Yes. And even though when we sat together and we did the pricing and we even had like the kit, nobody has bought one item until last week. I had one order and it was just a serum, and the person told me, I'm going to buy the rest of the things. I'm just buying right now because I already have something I'm using at the time. So people are buying them in kits. I'm yet to sell like individual products. And that also like just blew my mind, because when we're, you know, through the whole process, I said I wanted to sell like a kit, and that's what we've been buying.
It's so fantastic. Launched 3 weeks ago, sold over 40 products. Your average price point is about 160, right? So yes. If you were to do the math, you are, I'm just going to do it live. So 160 times 40, you're doing about 6,400. In a week, you'll probably be doing 10,000. Recouped the investment of the program. You've become a CEO. What is it that you know right now that you didn't know before?
Everything, honestly. One is branding. Your company's branding is synonymous to you. So whatever you want to put forward as a CEO is very important, and branding speaks a big volume of that. And secondly is that don't ever doubt yourself. If you know that you have this thing, and Maureen had used a very good example, and I think it was one of the guest speakers in the mindset who said, just look at it this way. You're put into this world to serve others. And if you have this beautiful thing to share with the world, who are you to refuse it from other people to that? So I started with the skincare line. I said, honestly, I had an epiphany. I was like, I could have done anything in this world, but it was skincare that called to me, meaning this is what I'm put to the world to do. So just go into it, believing that you can do it, having that mindset that you can do it. Of course, you'll get some objection from yourself sometimes and people around you, but just that focus, and that's all you need.
And then last question for you is, talk a little bit about the CEO thinking you've started embracing. Because many people, when you're coming in, you're just like, you know what, I just want to sell this product. But in our community, we really focus on CEO thinking, the fine print of being a CEO. How does that look like for you?
In terms of just how I run the business.
How you make decisions, how you're running your business, how you're thinking about next year. Speak to that, because for you, one thing you've embraced is, I'm now running a business. How is that? How have you changed? How have you morphed?
Yeah, one is because I guess coming into this whole thing, I knew what I wanted to achieve. And knowing that everything is on me. You're the CEO of your company. If you don't put in the work, and not quick on your feet to make like those changes that you need to do, adaptation and all that, like you will definitely encounter difficulties. So you just have to like get rid of this whole, I used to be that person. And like you said, in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to put myself out there as a CEO and I want to be in the back burner and just do things. But at the end of the day, you have to show up and show out for your company. You know, you have to come out and do what you feel you need to do to get your company going. Because although we have all these vision and mission statements we want to fulfill, end of the day, it's the bottom line. You know, it's the bottom line. And if a little, you know, let me just sit here and think about it, is gonna make you lose that bottom line. Trust me, you'll be quick on your feet to do it. So yeah, that's just where I'm coming from. I want to make the most from the investment that I've made in this program. And I have all the necessary resources, both human and, you know, like the documents, whatever that I need, the modules, everything there. I just need to implement it. And that's what I'm doing. And I've like studying the modules ahead of time. So by the time I come and sit down with Maureen, I have questions and I can anticipate what's going to happen even in my business. And right now, nobody can tell me anything about Illiman Skin because I know the back end of the business and the front end. And yeah, so just being on top of your feet, being quick to thinking and making decisions, changing. If you have to make changes, just go with it and all that. Honestly, when before my website went live, I did not even have all the infrastructure, but I had already sold 20 products. Remember, I told you that.
Yes.
And then I did not even have like my packaging boxes and all that. I went on there quickly to Amazon, ordered something, and just tried to go from there. And right now, I'm working towards those other things. So don't all things sweat you. Just always 10 steps ahead.
Awesome, awesome. Love that. I'm going to give people a chance to unmute themselves and ask you questions. So does anybody have a question for Anne?
Hi, yes. I just jump on here. Is that how we go?
Oh yeah, just jump on.
Okay, thank you. So something that I'm struggling with is sort of my self-perception and, you know, how I feel about, I'm in the skincare realm as well. And like, I look in the mirror and I'm just so disappointed with what I see on my own face and wondering if that was ever a challenge for you and how you got over it to be that amazing, powerful CEO of your own skincare line. And like, where's the bridge between self-image and doing something? Yeah, I think you did
I get it. So before I started the reason why I got into the skincare is because I was struggling with skin issues myself. I somebody who had like a flawless skin before I had my son, to, you know, like your skin breaking out with acne and, you know, like different like textures on your face. I had like combination skin all of a sudden, you know, I had dry spots, sensitive areas in my face. So it was a lot to take in. And that is what inspired me to start the skincare line. I was like, okay, I've bought so many products from Sephora, from very like knowledgeable like brands and like very well-known brands. Some of them were expensive. Some of them were, you know, would say they would do this and I would use it and I'll get so frustrated because it did not do what it said it would. And then I will hop on to the next. And, you know, you'll find yourself being in that place where you want to keep on trying different things to see what works for you. And honestly, just like myself, there are people out there who are also thinking that way, and they don't have a problem spending that money. And so that part was one of the reasons why it motivated me to start my skincare line. And in terms of just how people perceive you and your skin issues, just come there with that conviction that my products are here to do this. And this is why I'm so passionate about doing what I'm doing. And that's just how you show up. Honestly, in the beginning of this program, I was like, I told Maureen, like, why would people buy my products and I don't even have like the background in this thing? And like I said, if you can get into your kitchen and whip something up and it will work for you, share it with people. Why not? You know, some skincare issues goes a long way. And just because you have skincare issues doesn't mean that you cannot have a skincare line and you cannot invest in your skin. And when I was doing my research, even like dermatologists will suggest, you know, to do like go for facials and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that you're being a fraud because your products don't do that, but you still have to take care of yourself. And this is something that I'm learning in the process. And I was just telling my sister the other day, I have never had a facial in my life, but I'm now thinking of doing it. And as women, we always think, you know, you feel guilty when you want to indulge in such things because, we are nurturers, we want to nurture everybody around us but ourselves. And honestly, with the mindset I'm at right now, I want to invest in myself too. And I want to also spoil myself sometimes. If skincare is considered spoiling, then I will. And if you feel like you're at a place where you need to do those kind of things to feel comfortable in yourself, go for it. Because I, for one, I'm going to do it. I've already been doing it. I've invested in so many products in the past, and until now I have mine. So there is that struggle, but get out of your head and don't let that dictate to you how you run your business and how you you deliver your products to the people.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I have another one if nobody pops on.
Just go ahead.
When you were creating your product line, you said you had 20 orders before you even had packaging for it.
Yes.
Where did those 20 orders first come from? Were they just friends and family? And did you say, hey, I'm making this thing, anybody interested? Or like, how did that come about? Because it sounds like you already had like some really good, some power behind you to get people interested.
Yes.
That's a really good question. And talk about, one of the things we talk about is building community. Talk about the work we did after we finished your branding, because I think that's the gap we didn't cover. Thanks, Shamil, for asking that great question.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very important point, and I can't believe I did not touch it.
Yeah.
So when I started this program, just like some people, most people, I don't know about you, I did not know about the marketing aspect of things. I did not know how to use social media to my advantage. And for me, in my head, I was thinking, I'll create these beautiful products, put it out in the market, and then start, you know, talking about it. But now what I learned when I started this program with Maureen is I had it backwards. You have to start out talking about it. You have to start letting people know about your products. And that's what I've been doing shamelessly. First, I started with social media, so Instagram, and I opened a Facebook page. And then just in my own personal space, like my own personal Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, I've just been talking about Illiman Skin. I did not even know what Illiman Skin was going to look like, but I knew I've already made that promise to people. I'm going to come out with it regardless. So I started talking about it. I used a lot of resources like Canva and stock images from Canva just to like say, oh, I knew what products I was going to put out. So I was like, oh, cleanser, and I would use like those stock videos, people like models doing their morning routines or night routines. That is the information I've been putting out because I already had the branding aspect of the company. I was able to put out my logo. I was able to put out like, the messaging, and I would also like just tell people like, hey, Illiman Skincare caters to this, those kind of things. So I would balance it. And that's pretty much what it is. I spoke a lot on the products. I knew what the products were going to do. I knew what the product was going to be, who it was going to target. So I was able to talk to people just like the product was already in my bathroom or whatever, in my office. So by the time I got to receiving my shipment, I already had people DMing me. Even my former manager reached out to me. She was like, hey, Anne, I'm so proud of you. I'm glad to hear this. These are the kind of concerns I have. I wouldn't really say she's a friend. She was an acquaintance, and we never even really got to talk a lot when I was working at the company at the time. But she reached out and she told me, hey, your company speaks to me. I want to buy these products. When are they going to be in the market? And I told her, I went back, responded to her, I told her, you know what, we're looking to launch it in September. If anything, I'll communicate to you. And I did communicate to her, I told her, I have a little bit of delay. We're going to do it in October. And guess what? She came for the launch and she picked the whole 5 set, So basically just making noise about your product, talking to people, telling them what it's supposed to do. And I guess because for me, I had that clear voice, what my branding message was, who I was speaking to, who my target audience was, really helped me. So by the time launching the product, so many people around my circle already knew about it, and they also spread the words. And that's how I sold the products before I launched, and then an additional 20 more when I launched.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so basically for anyone who comes in with an idea of what the structure looks like is, of course, you get in a one-on-one call with me. We do your branding Bible. Once you do your brand Bible, we do another call with me to refine your positioning. Then we work on your pricing. And then what Anne referenced right now was her pre-launch runway. And then that one is usually between 6 to 8 weeks. We don't expect you to have any form of website or complicated landing page or emails. We want you to see that you're getting some return on the work that you're putting. And then afterwards, we really now work on the back end, like now Anne is working on. What are the email sequences I need to have? How does inventory order management look like? Because she knows how to do her marketing, but now it's more than marketing. It's like, how can I sustain the growth of my company? When should I pre-order? How should I be running my promotions for the year? It's really the A to Z framework that you need to have when you're running a successful product-based business.
Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's worth every bit of it.
Anything else, Shamil, or anyone else?
I think there were some questions in the chat.
Yes, so and there's a question for you. In building community, I want to do live pop-up shops. Do you have a format to form in terms of how to start your dialogue? And you did a really good live event a few weeks ago. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, so I sort of did it like a launch, like a physical launch of the product. And it's my building. I live in an apartment. Where I'm at right now is a social room, so we can rent it. It's very inexpensive. I rented it for $80, and then I just had a few friends come together, put like a nice, showcase of my products, and then I just had like a little bit finger foods here and there, and I had the physical products with me, with the packaging and everything ready to go for people who wanted to buy them. So I just told people, hey, I'm having a product launch. Please feel free to stop by, even for people in my building. And I did have two people who came who are interested, but they just said that they did not know that they needed to, they did not know that they were going to get products here, but they took my info. But yeah, that's what I did. And then when people came out, I had 3 people buy 3 sets of 5 products each. So 15 products I sold on that event. It was supposed to be a launch to just hang out with family and friends, but I used that platform to also like sell the products. And when I was sending out the invites, I told people to, you know, come prepared. If you want to, you know, buy yourself something, it's going to be, you know, you'll be able to pick your, if you're interested at the time. And that's what so perfect. Using like resources that are around you like this. I was even telling my sister, oh, I can organize another one to finish my inventory maybe before Christmas. So yeah, just using whatever that is available to you. And I also invested in a banner, and that banner just has like details of my company, what the brand message is, and I just use that on the backdrop. People are using it to take pictures, and then that is also more exposure for my company, and so on and so forth. So I hope I was able to answer.
Yeah, so you basically just said, think about the resources you have around you. Can you do it in your house? Maybe can you do it at a friend's place and just organize a very small event? Another way I have seen other people do is literally go on Eventbrite, put in your zip code if you're in the US, look at what events are happening, then you go and set up your own personal booth. That's what I've seen other people do it. So it's like, what are some of the scrappy ways you can do to get yourself out there in addition to, so that you can complement what you're doing online? So Anne, I know we've kept you for a while. I want you to give people the last parting shot, anything you can tell others before I move into the chat questions.
All right. So like I said, 4 months ago, I was where you guys are right now. I know some of you might have advanced in your business, just have an idea. I'm sorry about that. Maybe some of you just have an idea. So I would say just go for it. It's the best thing you can ever give to yourself. And even if you're already like a business that existed, you want maybe to zhuzh a few things in your business, this would be the right platform for you. Maureen is very knowledgeable at what she does, and she has everything mapped out, and it's so easy to follow and easy to execute. If some of you look at me right now, you would think, oh my God, she's been doing this for so long. She's knowledgeable in everything that she's doing. It's honestly the program. And like I said, just going through your modules, you have all the resources you need. I had the belief that this was going to take me places, and that's just what I went into it with.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Where can people find you so they can support you? Somebody asked about your website. I dropped in. Do you want to share your Instagram and your website as well?
Yes. So it is Illiman_Skin for Instagram, and it's www.illimanskin.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Keep shining, keep killing it. I'll see you next week in the training in the program.